Connors won the toss and has elected to receive, so the man we're looking at will open the match. Came rather late to the tennis circuit and has said that his biggest problem has been that of concentration, and he's employed a sports psychologist to help him out with this, in particular to give him the right concentration and application on the big points. He reckons that he's rather quicker around the court this year. He reached the third round last year and indeed the year before, and is deserving of considerable credit, because back home in Chile, he comes from the capital, Santiago, there are no grass courts. And we have two Americans on the court because the umpire comes from Seattle, Washington, and he is Mr. Kaufman, about to become one of the two professional umpires.
First set. Play.
Oh, that's a very unusual start. A foot fault against the Chilean.
Love 15.
Hardly an auspicious start for the outsider. Double fault on both occasions because of the foot fault.
All. $30-15. First service. $40-15. Game Acuna. First game.
What a very eventful opening game for the Chilean, starting with two foot faults, ending with two aces. He seems quite unmoved about the whole thing.
Well, you find something new every day at Wimbledon, and I have never ever heard a foot fault on first serve of a match, let alone two. But I think it was indicative of Acuna's perhaps habit of doing it, that he didn't even bother to query what he was doing. And so I imagine he's done it a few times in the past and knows how to amend that particular fault. Certainly he stands very, very close to the line. He's a Chilean Davis Cup player, single man, 27 years old and way down, 133 on the computer. But he's had a marvelous run here at Wimbledon and knocked off some very good players indeed.
And including the qualifying, Bill having to play his 8th match now.
Absolutely, but that's very, very good training.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love. Game Connors. 1 game all.
Comfortable start for the twice times champion, and the leading seed still left in the men's competition.
Love 15.
Pounding ground strokes from Jimmy Collins, and that's a favourite shot of his across the forehand. Hits very flat. Love 30.
Love 40.
So 1 pass by Jimmy Connors, allied to 2 errors by his opponent, gives the ex-champion 3 break points. That's a really fine overhead.
15-40. $30-40.
Still break point.
Game Connors. Connors leads 2-1, first set.
Well, a terrific game for Jimmy Connors. He really is tigerish with his return of serve. I said before this match started that he had perhaps the best return of serve of anybody. How he does it, I really don't know, but he really launches himself at the ball, and he seems to get it in the middle of that little racket of his every time, or nearly every time, and he hits it at such a tremendous pace. But he is capable of changing his pace, as he showed us in that last game. He hit 2 or 3 really blinding returns, flat and hard and fast, and one he dropped a little bit shorter, right to the feet, which really is the classic tactics, because then he should move in and volley. But he's a player who stays at the back really quite a lot. He likes to have a target, and he loves to pass that target. Acuna, on the other hand, has shown already what a tremendous athlete he is. He really is the most agile player, climbed beautifully for that smash, and is a very agile volleyer. Connors with a break now, 2-1.
Love. Love. $30-15. first service. (40-15). Game Connors. Connors leads 3-1.
Acuna deciding to keep on his sweater, sleeveless, but it's quite thick.
Love. Love. (30-15).
3 double faults already. 1 so far in each service game.
(40-15).
He's already produced a couple of really fine smashes, both feet off the ground. Superb timing. Third time he's been foot faulted, all 3 from this end.
(40-30). Deuce.
Oh, great return. Straight out of the Connors book.
Advantage Connors.
Well, this is what Connors loves doing, just piling those drives down the line. Deadly accurate, break point.
Deuce.
Just wide of the center line. That's even more difficult.
Advantage Connors.
Another chance for a 4-1 lead. Oh, that's a poor volley.
Connors. Connors leads 4 games to 1. First set.
Well, Acuna at this stage would perhaps do well to remind himself that in the second round he beat Pat Cash. Few errors coming off his racket here, a little tense and lacking in confidence.
Yes, well, of course, when you're playing against Jimmy Connors, you're faced with trying to serve well so that the return of serve is not too hot. And this man is coming into the net, as he should, behind his serve. But Connors hits the ball so hard that the subsequent volley in mid-court somewhere is going to be a very difficult volley to make. It's difficult enough just to get it back safely in the court, but to actually place it and win the point on that third shot of the rally is an uphill task against Connors when he's hitting freely and hard. So no doubt he's puzzling over that problem. And I wonder if he's considering whether to stay back occasionally. Connors certainly does.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
But the Connors service, which has never been the best delivery in the world by a long way, has taken him to a 4-1 lead.
$15 love. $30 love.
Brave attempt by the Chilean, but the ball hardly rose from Jimmy Connors' final volley.
Game Connors. Connors leads 5 games to 1.
And his 3 service games, Jimmy Connors, 2 have been to love and 1 to 15. And after only 17 minutes, Ricardo Acuna finds himself serving to save the first set.
Love 15.
Connors
15 all.
thought there should have been a call. Out by that much, in his opinion. An ace in the umpires.
$15-30.
Sadly for the Chilean, the one point of consistency is having a double fault in each service game.
$15-40.
His failure to put away the volley after having Jimmy Connors at full stretch means that Connors has 2 set points.
Game, first set. Connors, ball change. Six games to 1.
And the sad set for the qualifier here, which included 5 double faults.
Yes, well, I wouldn't have thought he came into this match, just 19 minutes that set took. I wouldn't have thought he came into this match with the greatest confidence, because last year he played Jimmy Connors on the grass at Queen's and lost 6-1, 6-3. But apart from playing the Connors reputation, it, I think, is his first time on a show court anyway at Wimbledon, and he is not basically a grass court player, although he does profess to think that grass does suit his game. And certainly he's had some good wins getting to this position over Tariq Benarbils, Pat Cash, which was a marvellous win, that in 5 sets, the number 6 seed. He beat David Pate, a very good American, in 3 sets, and he then beat the other qualifier, Robert
please. Ready
Seguso
to play. Thank you.
of America, one of the pair who won the world doubles, also in straight
Second
sets. So he's
set.
had a very, very good run and good
Connors
practice on
serve.
grass in those 4 matches and 3 in the qualifying. So the second set, Connors to start.
$15 love. $30 love.
This was wonderful stuff from Acuna. He really gave everything here. And to control that ball and get it in was really superlative. Connors 30-15.
$40-15. $40-30.
Signs that he's beginning to settle. Oh, nice.
Well, it's never easy to keep control when you've had a long run and a difficult angle to play, but he did. Deuce now.
Well, he went for a quite delicious and very difficult angle,
Advantage Acuna.
and he won out. And so break point for the Chilean. Opening game of the second set.
Deuce. Advantage Acuna.
Nice flowing return of service.
Game Acuna.
And well done, Acuna. First game of the second set.
First game, second set. First set to Connors.
Well, that was a terrific game by Acuna. It really was. Because it will have given him fresh heart. And although Connors has found, I think, a weakness on Acuna's backhand, he really did play the most delightful cross-court backhand. And here we come, Connors serving, and he comes well over that ball, returns it with topspin, and Connors into the net there. And that was an example of the Acuna backhand, where when the ball bounces high, he can come over it with topspin, and really does play a nice stinging return then. There was another point where he played a lovely cross-court backhand, and I'm sure that game will have given him a lot of heart. Now he's broken finally. So a set down, 6-1 in just 19 minutes, but now one up with a break in the second.
Good play, and he covered the net very well on the backhand side in the first place.
15 love.
He was also in much more quickly behind his service.
All.
And he can't afford to pass up opportunities like that. He had Jimmy Connors on the run and the whole court open to him.
All.
Good second service. Coming up very high from it. Kicker. So Jimmy Connors immediately putting Acuna under pressure. Point for the breakback. Fine service.
Deuce.
Well, he was due landing one in. He's had just too long on a number of occasions.
Advantage Acuna.
Well played.
Game Acuna. Acuna leads 2 games to love.
Oh, the opening set lasted only 19 minutes. The first 2 games of the second set have lasted 11.
Love.
For Connor's whirl, the overarm smash with the bowling action.
All.
First double fault.
Thirty, 15. All. $40, 30.
Looks as though you make quite a good goalkeeper.
Acuna leads 2 games to 1, second set. First set, Connors.
Ricardo certainly enjoying this match in very bright sunshine, and it really is very hot. There's a southerly wind here. And they're enjoying this match between the belligerent Connors and the very, very acrobatic man from Chile. And the last point of the Chilean service game showed some of his versatility and his acrobat-like qualities. Had to get his feet out of the way, you see, to play that little low shot then. A clear pass by Connors, you'd think, but no, the goalkeeper's dive, and he still manages to steer it into the open court. And that really was a remarkable shot. He's been rolling over 5 or 6 times in this match already, and it's only been on court 34 minutes, and he's clearly prepared to go for everything. He's not very big, he's 5'9", Connor's 5'10", but he really does make up for the lack of inches by stretching, reaching, jumping, and general exciting play all over the court. It's been plagued by foot faults and a few other double faults, but he's got a good service action, and he's still got a break in this set. 2-1.
15 love.
He thought it was long. Oh, in fact, I think he thought that it clipped the top of the net.
Love. Acuna.
Acuna's full pace.
Acuna leads 3-1.
Well, he's a different player now. He's got control of his nerves.
Love.
Jimmy Connors dared to think he was in for a bit of a stroll. He's been rudely awakened.
Second service. Love. Thirty, 15. All.
3 double faults from Jimmy Connors, and they've come in his last 2 service games. Fine service.
Connors. Acuna leads 3-2, second set. First set, Connors.
Yes, well, Jimmy Connors is really having to fight very hard now. There's sometimes a danger of having a very easy first set. When he broke Ricardo Acuna 3 times. And I'm sure Connors is too wily a campaigner, and he's fought far too many battles where he's taken an early set to think the match is over or half over even. But it does need a sort of mental adjustment and physical adjustment when you've had a first set that's so easy and suddenly find your man fighting back really very hard. To be broken as Connors was in the first game of the second set was a rude awakening for him, I'm sure. And that's been the only break of serve in this second set. But much more important to Connors is the fact that his opponent now is playing so much better. So Ricardo Acuna leads now 3-2 in this second set.
Love. All.
Double fault number 6.
Hit it. 30-15.
Really is trying to serve very, very long, and sometimes it's costing him.
Game, Acuna. Acuna leads 4-2. Out. 15 love.
It's interesting watching the timing of Jimmy Connors' service. The grunt just precedes the point of contact.
Game, Connors. Acuna leads 4-3, second set. First set, Connors.
There really is some very fierce hitting going on out on this court now. And that was shown in the last point of that game, where Connors really staying back, as he so often does, was really belting the ball. Doesn't throw the ball too high on his serve. Gets it just about on the top of the bounce. That was a good get, really, from Ricardo Acuna. Full stretch, and get it deep. Now these shots, although you see them going slowly, are being hit awfully hard. That's a good cross-court topspin, pulling Connors very wide. Now Connors knows he's going to have a long run. And really rather too high, giving Connors time almost to get there, but it wasn't necessary because the ball ballooned out of court. I think that was a case where Acuna lifted his head as he played the shot just to see where Connors was going. But Connors, age 32, he hasn't really lost any of his zest or his athletic ability on court. Perhaps in his mind he feels the end of his career is in sight, but it's certainly not evident from his play. And Acuna is hanging on very grimly to this break of serve that he achieved in the first game. So now he leads 4-3.
Fourth time he's been foot faulted, and every time at this end.
And this is a shot where it's very, very hard to get any power on the ball, but Acuna does. Dug up just before it hits the ground the second time, and there, full stretch.
On the line.
30, love. Love. Game Acuna. Acuna leads 5-3.
Really lovely love. Acuna beaten quite early.
And this is a favourite tactic and favourite shot of Jimmy Connors. The lob over the backhand into the backhand corner, and that was perfectly placed.
$15 all. $30-15. $40-15. Game Connors. Ball change. Acuna leads 5-4. Second set. First set, Connors.
Well, Acuna is doing well at this stage. He really is. He was never far off playing well in the first set, but Connors really was in rampant form and didn't really give him a chance to find his form. But it takes great mental stability to keep calm and to come back and really play like you know you can. And this man is now just doing that. Connors remaining the old Connors of hitting hard from the back of the court and trying to find holes in the opposition. But Acuna really is withstanding it all now. Completely unruffled as well by the many foot faults he's had.
Time.
And now poised to serve out this second set. So Acuna from the other end, not affected by the sun. New balls, 5-4.
Again, only just too long. Great return. So another very good length of service.
Love 15.
Jimmy Connors stepped in on it.
All. .38, 15.
And this was a very difficult rally for both players. That was a hard shot, but that clean pass by Connors. Wonderful shot under pressure. 30 all.
Great return again by Jimmy Connors.
.40.
And it gives him a point for 5 all. Marvelous play by Jimmy Connors. Beautiful lob again, which set up the opening.
Once again, the destructive lob by Jimmy Connors takes the initiative, but that was a difficult volley as well. But he hit it exactly to the right place. And so a wonderful effort by Jimmy Connors to break back. 5 all, second set.
Love 15. Love 30. 15-30.
Really the first point in the game that's been won as opposed to lost. 5-all, 30-all, second set. Confidence to step in and guide it away from Jimmy Connors. Gives Ricardo Acuna a break point for a 6-5 lead.
Deuce.
Turn must have surprised Jimmy Connors as well as everybody else, not least the man who played it. Really was a strange one.
Advantage Acuna.
It was a lovely forehand right in the corner that had Connors at full stretch. And once again, the Chilean has a break point.
Deuce.
Connors in need of taking some perspiration off the racket handle. Oh dear.
Advantage Acuna.
Third time lucky, I wonder, for the man from Santiago.
Deuce.
Well, I think that Acuna might well join Connors in that comment. Ball certainly bounced rather strangely. Back to deuce, third of the game.
Advantage Connors.
It's his first game point.
Deuce.
Such velocity of the return of service. The longest game, maybe the focal point of the contest overall.
Advantage Acuna.
And so many inches of the court were used then. Every shot forcing the opponent wide, but the fascinating thing was the way that Acuna was able to change the pace of the rally. And it brings him another break point.
Deuce.
Deuce for the 5th time. 4 break points saved.
Advantage Connors.
His second chance to end a very long serving game. Over 8 minutes.
Game Connors. Connors leads 6 games to 5, second set by 1 set to love.
Well, that was a terrific game by Connors. The longest game of the match. A match where 4 times he stood within a point of losing it. And right at the end there, he really showed all his fighting qualities on his own second point to take the game. Because he really had done a lot of running in this game, staying back and really concentrating on the ball every time he hits it. Head right down, eyes glued to that ball. All the power of his frame, and then he decides to come in rather as a sort of last-minute idea and punches away that volley. And it's the first time that Jimmy Connors has been ahead in this set, and he's not the sort of man to let a lead go if he can help it.
But it really is interesting, isn't it? The approach by the Chilean to changing the pace of not giving Jimmy Connors too much to feed on.
Well, this is the way to play Connors, as people from Arthur Ashe downwards have found, of course. But if you do that, you always stand the risk that he's going to hit blinding winners against you. And so you're in a bit of a quandary, whether to hit a clean winner fast or whether to slow it down and make Jimmy find his own pace. Because he's really a law unto himself out there on the tennis court. Acuna now serving behind for the first time, 5-6.
15 all. Second service. Fifteen 30.
Biggest point yet for the Chilean. 5-6, 15-30.
All.
And a really fine service he found for it. That's a nap hand of foot fault. Well, the lob creating the problem for Acuna. And set point to Jimmy Connors for a 2-sets-to-love lead. Too long.
Deuce. Advantage Acuna.
I think that might have gone out anyway. It really is impressive the way he holds his ground at the net under quite often great pressure. So point to take it into the tiebreak.
Deuce.
Connors forcing him to stretch low. It was a dipping ball.
Advantage Connors.
Second set point. Well played.
And Connors risking the lob here when he could have passed. And he should have remembered that Acuna played that shot marvellously well earlier in this match. He's very, very agile. Deuce.
On the line.
Advantage Connors.
Power of service met by even greater power of return. And a third set point for the American. Sixth time to incur the wrath of the foot fault judge.
Deuce.
So far, these last two games of the set have taken a quarter of an hour.
Advantage Acuna.
Oh, what a good contest here. Some of the lobs have gained for Connors, some for his opponent.
Deuce.
Magnificent return again. Five deuces in the 11th game, 5 now in the 12th. Lovely pickup and very authoritative volley.
Advantage Acuna.
Well, it was at this point that the server won the previous game after the 5th deuce.
First service. Deuce.
Well, according to the ATP computer, there are 130 places between these two. You wouldn't know it at the moment.
Advantage Acuna.
Yes.
Well, this time Connors achieves the lob, but it was on the forehand and it had topspin. The ones that Acuna got to were mainly on the backhand. From the Connors backhand, that is. So back to deuce.
Advantage Acuna.
Will the 6th ace provide the opening for the Chilean?
Game Acuna, 6 games all. Tie break.
All that just to produce the tiebreak. Took nearly 10 minutes, that game. And yet the whole of the first set disappeared in 19. Length almost of the last 2 games. Masterful.
Well, you just can't say that these two aren't giving everything.
1-0 Connors.
Terrific distance Acuna had to cover, and then at full stretch Connors gets the winning volley. And a very good thing that Acuna wasn't there to kill that ball. This should prove a very exciting tiebreak indeed, I think. 1-love to Connors.
Magic stuff. Acuna having to react a little late, perhaps.
Incredible angle here from Connors, right across the court and so short. Acuna gets it back, and Connors just can't reach it. Marvellous point again. 1-all.
Two, 1 Connors.
Shake of the head, understandable after the 7th double fault produces the first break of the tiebreak. Marvellous approach. Proved to be a winner.
3-1 Connors. Connors.
Acuna to serve 1 from this end and then 1 from the other. Stands at 1-4 down in the tiebreak.
Connors.
Acuna's aces and double faults going almost stride for stride.
Well, the action man at his best here. Difficult volley for Acuna there. Connors gets his feet in position and punches through the hole there.
And Connors with the chance now to serve out for a 2 sets to love lead. 5-2 up.
To Connors.
4 set points. Had 3 set points in the 12th game. 4 more here.
Connors. Game, second set, Connors. Seven games to 6. Connors leads 2 sets to love.